Thank you, Vulcan Z, for the raid. Welcome in. We'll be getting started very soon. Hello everyone and welcome to the sportiest stream. Welcome to the Amateur Gaming League, the final week of the regular season, and not all the playoff spots have been solidified. Joining me tonight here is CplMonkeyshines, as we've got on X35L Calenton taking on NOLA Flight Mudbugs. A best of 5 series. Winner of this will guarantee a spot in the playoffs. The loser may be eliminated from contention. A big series here, because at least one of these teams will be going to that top 16.
Indeed, two great organizations. Very much looking forward to this one. We were talking about this before we got in a little bit. Calenton coming into this one on a 2-game skid versus the Mudbugs coming as 2-game win streak. So going to be interesting to see if that plays into their mental at all. But regardless, Sporty, I am looking forward to a great matchup.
Yeah, me too. And in fact, actually, I think you guys will be looking forward to a pretty interesting group stage here. Let's take a look at that group stage as it is right now. This is our bracket here. You guys can see a lot of the top teams, the top contenders. Scroll down. Here's the top 16. Calenton are number 14. Mudbugs are number 15. So, playoff spots not secured for either of these sides. This is the final week. Winner will guarantee a spot. The loser very likely will be eliminated. And you don't want to be in that position here as Calenton and Mudbugs. This match, quite literally, has the season resting on its shoulders.
Yeah, and this is a team, these are two teams, I should say, the game differential very close to even as well. So it seems like darn near close. And you look over their seasons, Calenton, they got a couple of sweeps as well in weeks 2 and 3. But yeah, on the skids, these past couple of weeks, 1 and 3, got swept the last week. But meanwhile, the Mudbugs, they came out 3-1 week 4, 3-0, got a sweep last week, so they got to be feeling good about it. So, like you mentioned, obviously a lot on the line. But regardless who walks away with the dub here, big feather in their cap, got to feel good. Potentially, like you said, it's synced, it's clinched this evening. They're able to walk away with this one. They got to feel good going about it going into the playoffs. But as you mentioned, it's the one who takes the L may take the L in more ways than one.
Yeah, you're right. And again, we talk about it, but let's take a look at these rosters that have been playing for these teams all season long. El Calenton with 5 players on the roster, the NOLA Flight Mudbugs with 4, and again, I have to keep reiterating it. There's a lot on the line for these players, and you might recognize some of these. Jotza actually is a name that you might recognize. He's gone by a couple names in the past. Shinigami, Fusion, he's gone by a couple different names. Obviously now he goes by Jotza now, but he's been on this El Calenton name for quite a long time. Again, the last time we saw him was when they played against Team Jumba when he was known as Shinigami. Before that, he was known as Fusion. So, got a couple of name changes. Still the same player. Still very solid overall. But joining him, the only player actually joining him from the old El Calenton roster is Somber. Other than that, these are players who played on other teams that you might recognize. Jamli, also known as Jamal, as you're gonna hear him, was on Cafe Colnetche 50. Has been on. He's obviously the org leader. He's been on a couple different teams. We talk about Bill as well. He's been on a couple different teams for NOLA Flight, for X35, but for NOLA Flight, again, this is a newer team. I'm actually not as recognizable with Grand Tuevos, Potato Barn, Orbit, and Dr. Alofa. So again, I'm excited for this. This is C3GC1, if you guys don't know. You're in a 3v3 league, and even though El Calenton has gone through changes, this roster still continuing to show that they've been consistent at making it to the playoffs, but the consistency might be lost here if they don't perform.
Yeah, and I do enjoy this El Calenton crew. I had the opportunity to call them. I really enjoy what they do just in terms of rotations. Very good team-oriented game. I would obviously expect anybody that comes away from NOLA Flight to be top, just absolutely rock solid. That only lends to the excitement of this game, not just what's on the line, what you expect, I think, from both of these organizations, what we have seen from both of these organizations, both these rosters. Very exciting. I'm loving the stacked lineup here. Ultimately, end of the day, I have no reason to think it's not going to be fantastic, and I could totally see it going the distance.
Yeah, we'll see though if it does. I'd love to see it go to distance. This is our only match tonight as well. It's a late one. It's again at the end of the week, but for these guys, they want to end it off on a positive note. And again, I can't wait for this. Just like the pressure as well really makes this interesting. Because reminder, this isn't even playoffs. Yet these teams are feeling that pressure.
Yeah, and it definitely has that playoff element because, as you mentioned, the loser is in a rough spot, but the winner obviously in there gets some good momentum going into it. And like we said, top-notch organizations, top-notch crews. So yeah, obviously they want to go out there, they want to get the dub. It's late night, it's Friday night. There's a special element to the whole thing as well. So there's a lot there, very competitive organizations as well. There's a lot riding on this. It's a great point. A lot of great storylines coming into this one. I think at the end of the day, we walk away with a solid game, solid series. Ultimately, yeah, and again, walking away from this one, I think they're going to have to, both of these teams, going to have to lay everything out there because there is no tomorrow, obviously. So I think there's a lot of elements that'll go into some tremendous gameplay. This strikes me, obviously, honestly, Sporty, as a series that ultimately is won by, the smallest of things. Just one person being out of position, one person, getting just the right read. Ultimately, I have no doubt that we're going to see something tremendous because, honestly, I would expect nothing less.
As actually are getting an update here on the rosters. Apparently there was a name change and they didn't tell me about it. So Sombers actually was known as CK. He's now gone back to his old name in CK, which stands for Crowd Killer, if you actually didn't know. Coming back in here as... Again, a big match, a big series here. So much on the line, as you said already, and these teams must be feeling that pressure, but with pressure, maybe comes diamonds, and we'll see which teams have it here. A best-of-5 series, the final week of the Amateur Gaming League. The playoffs on the line. The winner secures a spot. The loser will be decided by fate. 100x35 El Calenton, NOLA Flight Mudbugs. One series, one chance to secure your spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, and winning the kick there are the Mudbugs trying to follow up, but no, CK able to come off. Good challenge there by Grande Huevos. He's Dr. Olafo up and over. Jota taking the shot, and we are going to get on the board all of 11 seconds in.
A quick start, El Calenton. Don't waste the time here. CK to Jota. These two have been teammates in the past as well. And El Calenton showing that chemistry can surpass anything. And for a team of players who have been on and off teammates for a while, not surprised to see them be this successful this early on. But NOLA Flight Mudbugs, Orbit, looking for a follow-up. Jota will clear it away. And defense like that, while it might seem simple and trivial, as it's the little things that are going to make the difference. Being able to consistently keep the ball out of that net will be a huge part of how these teams are going to find success and might be what decides the series in the end.
And if you're 100x, this is exactly how you have to come out. You just have to throw everything at NOLA Flight at this point. With as much as it's on the line, we talked about it, over and over and over again coming into this one. It's very obvious that they understand the assignment, that they need to go ahead and make an emphatic statement here early on. You see Dota going up, looking for maybe a shot passing out there, wrapping back around. Jamil there, able to tag it off the backboard. So good rotation, good work there by Calenton. That might will not sneak past Orbit. Alofa going up, trying to get the touch. No, Jota going to send it on back out across. Orbit back and forth. These two teams go. Again, just underscoring what they need to accomplish here, Sporty. Just a tremendous back and forth here early on.
Yeah, El Calenton definitely doing well at knocking on that NOLA Flight Mudbugs nets, and they've been doing it a lot of chances, a lot of plays. They are known as the Heat after all. So it's no surprise that they're bringing it here with the amount of peppering they have on this net. here. El Calenton not wasting these chances, not wasting the ability to get shots, and we're only going to see more of that as CK. Double tap, won't get it, but Jamal keeps it alive here as El Calenton approaching on the net. Jamal one-on-one, this one bouncing off the bar in front. CK! That will be stopped by Dr. Alofa as the Mudbug continue to learn why El Calenton are such a scary team to play against when they have the offense.
And CK looking to move it up, but Luff is there taking the shot, but no, denied by Jamal, and now we see a press. It is true, if you are the Mudbugs, just kind of putting the pressure back on this crew from 100X. Jamal back there, sitting in net. Heck of a pinch there, and wrapping back around. Here comes Alofa. Good touch, no good challenge by Jota, and you've got two members of 100X back there in the corner. Looping, the pop is up. Opportunity, but Grande Huevos flies on by. Orbit looking for the shot. It is just a touch off. Heading on back into the corner is Jamal, trying to sneak it by, so both these teams putting pressure on. That is not going to happen, courtesy of Jota. And again, it is that moment. We haven't seen any scoring sporty since that quick opening volley by 100X, and now defense is the name of the game.
Defense making its mark, but that offense from El Calenton, it's going to be very frustrated with the fact that they have not been able to score more here. So many 135 teams so focused on offense, they forget that defense is a part of the game too, and that you can't get too carried away with trying to get chances, but they will get a chance there with Jota. Orbit will jump in the way as the Mudbugs. I've been impressed with these clears they've had. They've really put it on El Calenton to get that ball back, and El Calenton have not been able to do it so easily. All the flights. Searching for the net as Grande Huevos cleared away by CK. Orbits, great two touches. Now in the midfield, who's going to follow it up? In comes Dr. Alofa. Miss from Jamal. Net is open, but Grande Huevos couldn't find it in. And El Calenton will clear the danger away once again.
Yeah, nice challenger as well, Dr. Lova. You have got Jota all over the place, and is gonna no. Unfortunately, great opportunity to clear. But as I was gonna say, Jota has just been all over the place in terms of challenging, in terms of defense. But that right there, unfortunate 50 sets it up for Orbit open net, and there is one of those small opportunities taken advantage of by Nulaflight. We are now up at $1.29 left to go in our game number 1.
And I mentioned it, 175 teams struggle when it comes to overplaying that offense, overdoing the offense, and you see them there, and overcommit from El Council. You know this as well as I do, CplMonkeyshines, being, someone who has heavy connections with this org. A lot of these teams have the exact same issue, and they're a little too offensively minded.
Well, I appreciate what they do. A little bit of the Monkey Max. Great carry there by CK. Says, I've got some offense for you, Sir Jack. Calenton comes out to say hello. Going up, grabs the 100 coming off of the ceiling. Now, what you said is absolutely true. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. We'll see if that shifts itself into 100X's game plan.
But a great shot there from CK. I mean, we haven't really seen the mechanics come from El Council, but these are some relatively solid players, especially CK. He can do a lot of stuff in the field, but that's a big overplay! Ooh. And Orbits will put it in. The Mudbugs tie it again, as this time Jota caught waiting in the midfield. And that overcommit once again, hurting the chances of the 100X35 side.
Heck of a back and forth we have here now. Tit for tat, we saw a very quick score. Things kind of went dry, but now it appears to be a scoring explosion. And again, hopefully for 100X, they don't overextend themselves, but Nola appears to be playing very patient. That one, though, gonna head on in at 100X. The offense being kind to them, grabbing the savior. 3 shots, 2 goals. Does Jota have my word? 53 seconds left. How many scores are we gonna be seeing?
El Calenton, though, will make it free. That's for sure. We've got 5 goals total. The Mudbugs, 53 seconds to get a tied game. And that's not a very good start off the kickoff there, but it won't go in the net. Jamal, though, looking for Jota. Clear by Orbit. Now the red been caught again. Jota touch, but he couldn't keep it out. And the Mudbugs once again catch El Calenton napping. How many times do you get caught overcommitting before you realize it's enough?
There's got to be a point where 100X is able to say, at least we've got to have somebody back in that defensive rotation, maybe be a little bit more aware, because Nulaflight just playing way too patient at this point, waiting for 100X to overextend themselves. And Jamal trying to pop it up there. CK waiting for the opportunity to present itself. It does not, as Orbit sends it on back in the corner, but no, CK popping it up there. Grande Huevos trying to clear it off the backboard. Jota going to send it back. CK waiting for a shot to come out. No, Orbit able to send it back, but now the pressure by 100X, it is starting to show itself yet again, but CK going back for a little more defense and was removed from the pitch, courtesy of Dr. Alofa. Dr. Alofa trying to get the shot there. It is not going to happen. Jota Good tap, but that one gonna die out there. We may be looking at overtime. Here's Sporty Dr. Alofa. Try to set it up though. Nice jump there by Jota. Here comes Orbit, maybe looking for a pitch. Not gonna happen. And that is gonna touch, folks. We have gone to overtime, game number 1.
What a start to this final series here, to this final week match, final match for both these teams here in the Amateur Gaming League regular season. And it starts in an overtime, starts with a lot of pressure. It also starts with a lot of momentum up for grabs for whatever team can take this game. But we've seen momentum, it swings back and forth. El Calenton, like a pendulum, have done well at pushing one way and have struggled on the other side. Now a mistake there. Orbit, Jota getting bumped out by Grande Huevos, but he will keep it out. Now bumped cleanly off that play. Dr. Alofa cleared by CK. Jota, dunk on Orbit. Grande Huevos doesn't have the ball. CK hit that ceiling shot earlier to tie this game up at one point. Now looking in for the infield pass, but Jota will be stopped by Orbit and El Calenton. Just searching around the goal area. CK, follow up. That one goes wide as NF Mudbugs will not let another shot come in, as these challenges from them, they might be a bit late when it comes to the amount of defense they're playing. They're putting them at good times, as Calenton just can't seem to walk in close enough to that net to get a good chance.
And you see 100X now trying to assault Orbit there, sitting back, playing very defensively in net. And Huevos trying to sneak it past CK. CK's got to know Orbit. Gonna send it on back. So as you were saying, Nola Flight working very well in terms of defense with Orbit back there, doing a little bit of everything on both ends of the pitch. Jota setting up, has nothing in the tank. Who else? Orbit is there. Nice pop there out and across. Jamal not able to handle that one. It is gonna head on towards 100X's side of the pitch. And good carry by Jamal. No, gonna be cleared back over by Grande Huevos, trying to set up over there in the corner. But Jota, who else? We have seen him challenge time and time again, win plenty of 50s, or at least just kind of kill the ball, allowing his teammates to be able to make a statement. And Orbit can go from one end on defense to the other on offense and make quite the statement. Game number 1 in the back pocket of Nola Flight. And my gosh, Sporting, what does this do for both of these teams' mental?
I mentioned it, it's a big overtime win for NF Mudbugs. This is only going to give them more confidence to continue doing what they're doing. I mean, Orbit, safe to say, had an insane match. This is a game that he'll remember, that's for sure. 4 goals on 6 shots. Alofa with resist, and I think we haven't really mentioned Dr. Alofa all that much. He's been just playing very well, and again, I've been impressed with him all match long, and we'll see how he goes here as 135 El Calenton making a change, and I believe it's Krill who's coming in to sub.
Well, Dr. Alofa, as you can see, grabbed the playmaker as well. Yeah, it was definitely Orbit's game. Had a couple of saves, had 4 goals, all about the Mudbugs, front, left, right, center, whatever dimension you want to look at. But by the same token, again, Alofa, give him credit. It's one of those things where so very effective in that we talk about Orbit, but we do that because Alofa was able to set him up. So while we may not directly say the name, he is right there setting him up so Orbit can knock him down. So now the Mudbugs up 1-0 in terms of the series. They got to feel good going to that. We talked about how big, how tremendously heavy the weight of this series is. And now the Mudbugs, they are that much closer. But by the same token, 100X a little bit further back.
And they have made that change. Krill, in-game name Lil Killa, added in, and he's gonna look to make a change, but it won't be him to take the shot. El Calenton, flashes of game 1, another goal early on, but this time, not 11 seconds in, but even faster in 5.
Yeah, here we come yet again, and of course it is Jack Skellington come out to say hello, excuse me, but yep, 1-0 now in favor of 100X. They've got to be able to continue on, and if they can score again here, just start ladling on the points, because this is a crew in the Mudbugs that can obviously respond and do so in so many different ways. I don't know if Orbit's going to have a game like he did in the last one. If he does, oh my goodness, and right on back, Lil Killa. So there you go. Need to continue the scoring explosion, and it continues. 4:39 left in this one, Sporty, and it is already 2-0 in favor of 100X.
Failed with his first shot and his first goal of the series, but as we said, make no understatement of those assists from El Calenton. That's where the real work is coming in. CK went for a ceiling shot pass. That's how ambitious this El Calenton side is, and obviously it's working really well for them, because CK, and he's just doing it again. This guy loves the ceiling. He scored off of it last game, and now he's looking to try to start offense with it too.
Yeah, and it looks like that Little Kill's involvement may very well be exactly what 100x needed. They look like they're flowing a little bit more, but now Jota going back 100, or excuse me, CK going back as well. Good jump there, and the Mudbugs looking to, at the very least, snag a goal. And Brill heading on out there. Good jump, nice pop there by Grande Huevos, but it looks like 100x may be able to start on the march yet again. No, there is Orbit, and set up by Orbit, locked down by Grande Huevos, and the Mudbugs. They may be down by 1, but they have all the makings of a winner here early on.
That's the great pass, and for once, the assist actually isn't worth more than the goal. That was a great play from Grande Huevos. He recognized that was going to get saved easily. El Calenton have seen those shots before. What they haven't seen, though, is Grande Huevos just throw himself the ball as he does so there to bad effect. Jota cuts me off. It's a 3-1 lead as Grande Huevos tried to do it again here. Tried to put himself all in on that chance. And that one, that's going to be a little more embarrassing than the play he had before.
It's a great response by 100x, though. You know, Mudbugs, how well they did in our game number 1. Looks like they were threatening yet again, but now 100x making a solid statement already. 3 on the board, 3:45 left. Still plenty of time, of course, for the Mudbugs to respond here. Set up there by Frill, but Jota working around, trying to grab that 100. Has to go all the way back to the other side of the pitch to get it. Frill getting taken up and over by Grande Huevos. Gonna be challenged there by Jota. I want to see his will sport. Jota's done a fine job in terms of just slowing it down for his crew in terms of jumping on those 50s, taken away. But yeah, Jota has had this opportunity, like I say, to kind of allow his teammates to get in position. Good jumps, good 50s. I really enjoy what he's doing.
Yeah, so in every single iteration of El Calenton, and even back when he was on 135 Blue, that was always his role. Even back when he was on his Fusion, even back when he was on his Shinigami. Jota has always been that player who sat in the back, has let his teammates work around him. He has not been the one to make the big plays, to make the big movements. He has been the one just to allow his team not to fall apart. And well, last game, he had some issues keeping that backline clear. This game, there's been a lot less questions about it because he has been a lot better, a lot more sturdy. He's challenged a lot better here. If El Calenton, if Jota's playing well, this team does not have an easy-to-beat defense. And again, they rely heavily on him to have a good performance. For them to take wins. It's one of the things that could be a weakness for them if he isn't playing well. But when he is playing well, El Calenton, they're a tough team to beat.
And certainly Jota. Oh, unfortunately, that one gonna fly on by. Grande's got a little bit there. Hey, Orbit had a tremendous game number 1. Grande Huevos looking to have a solid game number 2, and unfortunately served up. My goodness, not what 100x needed, but still have the 1-goal lead. They just got to respond at this point.
Bad timing for me to talk about Jota's defense. You know, it was bound to happen at some point. It was bound to happen at some point, and here we go. It happens in game 2. And for El Calenton, this is only going to make things tougher for them. A 1-goal difference. Their defense has not been all that stellar so far. Even though I've credited Jota with being able to keep a lot of plays out, I need to see a lot better from El Calenton. And I think that's can go for a lot of teams at this kind of mid-tier level where they have the makings of one side of the field. For El Calenton, it's the offense. That defense has been a lot more questionable as the Mudbugs have had some freebies so far this series, and it feels like some of their chances have just come a little too easily. And for El Calenton, they've got to prevent some of those chances because against Nullify Mudbugs is hurting them. Just think about if they go to the playoffs. They've got a much tougher competition waiting there for them, almost certainly. And if Mudbugs are taking advantage of it, every other team will take advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the offense is fun. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy a nice flashy offense. But to your point, if you have a team that's very defensive that can stop that time and time again, don't get me wrong. You know, shot after shot after shot, eventually you're going to sneak one through. But when you have a response like this crew does in Orbit and in Grande Huevos, as we've seen, like this, I want to say a more complete team. Obviously, 100x right now, vibing maybe a little bit more, but maybe that slipping away just a little bit. Orbit. Good challenge there, and Krill trying to get up and over. No, 2 good jumps there by Orbit. Dr. Alofa looping back around, heading around into the corner. Jota, though, it is a challenge between those two. Dr. Alofa going to win the day. You've got the entirety of Calenton jumping on that one. But Krill trying to set it out. Jota a little far back, taking the shot, and it is true!
And that's going to be some insurance for RX35. El Calenton, Jota. Well, he has been rough on the defensive side. Offensively this game, ironic that my prediction, of course, never predicts to be true. That's 2 goals for Jota, by the way. His offense has been pretty solid so far. And for a guy who isn't very mechanical, isn't super flashy, he's just showing you that the simple things are making it work. And, well, again, defensively, I've been a little more questionable. On offense, he stepped up tremendously this game. There's a reason I said Jota's going to be one of those players to really watch out for because, well, he might not be the most interesting player to watch. His impact is one that you're going to see ripple through this El Calenton offense and defense and just team as a whole.
And I know it's really easy to look down on folks who aren't necessarily flashy, who don't have all the mechs in the whole wide world, but fundamentals are what they are for a reason. And if Hota's able to go out there, my goodness, 1 bump, 2 bump, if Hota's able to go out there and be dominant with those fundamentals, setting up Krill and CK in those situations, almost got a score there. El Calenton's got to love what they can do, but in the meantime, I don't think Nola Flight's going to grab this one. And regardless of what the final score is in this case, 100X has to love the fact they came back. It was a rough loss in game number 1 in overtime, but they responded, grabbed the dub, and now we're knotted up for the series.
It may not be pretty, but that's what these breaks are for. These breaks are to process everything, to make adjustments, and for both of these teams, a lot of it comes down to defense. It just has not been a very defensive battle on these sides. We've seen great defense, but we haven't seen consistent defense, and there's a difference. There's a very clear difference. Good defense can block out one play. Consistent defense can block out many. And for both these teams, they've let in a good amount of goals go through, and a lot of them have been goals that haven't been all that impressive. And well, El Calenton, I think the reason they're winning is because that their offense is better than Mudbugs. But as long as one of the teams kind of improves on their defense, this series could very well flip to one side or the other.
Oh, absolutely. And, a great defense will always best a great offense. I mean, obviously, like we said, a tremendous offense is fun to watch, but at the end of it, if you can block that out, take it to the other end of the pitch and score, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to put points on the board. And Jota went 2 for 4 on that last one. 50% on that is solid. When you have two teams like this that are relatively evenly matched, being able to get that many shots and then converting on half of them, that will win you ball games. That's exactly what happened in the last one. Krill not able to get it over Dr. Alofa. Orbit looking to wrap around, maybe get a shot on this one. Not going to happen on that one, but Grande Huevos able to kill it between there and the wall. Nice pop there by Orbits. Krill going to take it over there, trying to get the tap. Not going to happen. Trying to follow up on it. Jota is there. Setting it up, though. That is right in front of the net. Dangerous spot. Oh, my goodness. Thought we might see Grande Huevos put that one in. We did not. However, Dr. Alofa going to wrap back around, try to set it up for Grande Huevos. Going to be set back. Orbit, nice pop. Going back across. Grande waiting around mid, taking his time. Although removed from the pitch was Krill, courtesy of Orbit. And the opportunity not going to present itself. It might sneak on by Dr. Alofa. Great defense, so we are getting a back and forth here early on, Sporty.
We are getting a ton of back and forth. These teams going offense, they're willing to take these risks. You love to see that on an offense. One that is willing to just push for things, even if maybe it's a little risky, and yet still, these teams taking measured risks, as in comes Krill. That goes to the right side of the net, and El Calenton, that goes to their scoreboard.
And so there we got a little bit of bully ball. We ended up getting a bump goal, and unfortunately just taking Orbit just a touch out of position. And there we go again. It is those small spaces. El Calenton gets on the board. It's 1-0. Early, though, that one, no, just going to be a little bit off. But yeah, I got to say, Calenton now looking a little bit more spicy, getting in there with the bumps and the demos. A little bully ball can go a long way, especially when you have two teams as evenly matched. There's a bump from Grande Huevos. Said, yeah, we can do a little bit as well. Krill moving on back around, allowing CK to try to push up. Nice pop there by Hota. Quite possibly going to set it up yet again. No Orbit. Going to send it on back. Going to take the carry as well out of cross, trying to sneak it past Krill. Not able to, able to get the pop, but that one a little too high off. And Jota just trying to send it on back as Krill able to pop it up. Grande Huevos for the moment, taking it on into the corner. And the opportunity's there, set up. Jota trying to follow through. No, great clear there by Alofa. Alofa taken to the sky, but going to be challenged there by Krill. Grande Huevos has gone back, and oh my goodness, we almost had an unfortunate own goal, but CK's going to follow up. Unfortunately, ends up teeing it up for CK. Did the Mudbugs in that instance.
Yeah, Orbit got very nervous, got a little bit too jumpy on that one, and he lit it back on his own teammate. An open net for CK. And X35 El Calenton. While it may not be a goal that they necessarily crafted, it's a goal they'll 100% take. And for the Mudbugs, this series is really starting to turn painful for them. And for El Calenton, there's a lot they're playing for in this series. Not just a playoff spot, as we mentioned already, for both these sides, but also just to, prove to themselves this is not a season that's going to end off this poorly for them. We mentioned at the start they are coming off of a multi-league loss streak, 2 straight losses in the last 2 weeks, and for them, that means they started off 3-0 this season. They started off perfectly, but this time, They're looking to try to end it off well, but Nullified Mudbugs are not giving them that courtesy here. As for CK, a smokescreen in front of that gives Orbit the chance to shoot wherever he likes.
Yeah, on that one, Mudbugs came out. I love this. I love this, Sporty. They came out with the bumps. They came out with the demos, eventually getting the demo goal. That kind of ferocity can jump out and get the Mudbugs right back in this, as we saw 100. Oh, he's not going to sneak by. I thought Krill may unfortunately sneak by, but no, able to get the save. But back to my original point, I thought the Mudbugs, when they are able to step out there and get ferocious, get back in, especially when you might have lost some of the momentum, those simple things. You want to talk about fundamentals, just a basic run into the opposition. That can come out to assist as we're heading on back. And Krill, nice pop there. Jota trying to come back around. Great clear there by Dr. Alofa. And I know the Mudbugs may be looking for another. We are still seeing some bumps. I got to wonder if we will see yet another demo goal.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it with how these teams are playing as Mudbugs looking for a chance! Oh, what a block there from Krill! He almost overshot it, but it will go off the crossbar. And El Calenton keep their lead alive. But defense still, the name of the game is they just can't break out that easily. Here comes Orbit! That one kept wide as Orbit was the one to score so many of the goals last game for the Mudbugs. He's still just as scary this game. El Calenton have done better at stopping him, but have not been able to eliminate his presence. Orbit won't get that one. Grande Huevos will. Krill, the dribble, looking in the midfield. Grande Huevos bumps him away as El Calenton looking to march upfield. CK, a drop down touch. Grande Huevos, double commit from El Calenton. A breakaway chance. Orbit to the midfield, but Krill will get back, and El Calenton will look to keep it away as this one bounced off the net and wide as Jota gets a piece of it. And Nullified Mudbugs, while they do have the offense, those chances are few and far between.
Yeah, you know, we talked about how good 100X is and how fast they like to play on offense. It looks like Nullified is trying to match that, and it looks like they may be playing a little bit panicky. However, as fast as both these teams playing, it's obviously very easy to look like you're playing panicky when you're just taking swipe after swipe, and there is a shot! But unfortunately, Jota trying to follow up on an Orbit, able to get the save. CK jumping out there, no! Able to get the save there for the Mudbugs. And an opportunity for 100X, unfortunately, frittered away, but again, we go back to that great defense from Nullified, able to come back in here. Dr. Lofa now pressing 7 in a dream, but no challenge there by CK. Krill gonna take it on over. Orbit continuing the pressure, and it's gonna sit down. There is the demo. Where is the goal? There it is! Grande Huevos speaking it into existence. There is your second demo goal.
Nullified Mudbugs when time was running thin. Grande Huevos. It means large eggs. But you know what else is large? The ball's on him to go for that challenge as the third one back. Nullified Mudbugs, a huge goal, a huge moment, and we might be going to our second overtime tonight in this series as long as this ball hits the ground, but El Calenton won't let it happen. Grande Huevos keeps it alive as El Calenton's perching, but Orbit clears it away, and this one will be dropped. We're going to overtime again. Nullified Mudbugs won here in game 1. Will they do it again, or will El Calenton will take match point?
40, I want you to watch for yet a third demo goal. It has been so very effective and quite possibly has 100X playing on their heels a little bit more. That one's going to be a little too high. Dr. Alofa not able to get that shot on, but we have already seen how effective the bully ball, how effective the demo goal has been. If it's going to be 100X, they got to somehow find Nullified out of position, but right now they're playing very speedy, and yes, that can afford a space or two where 100X can obviously be so very effective. But if for whatever reason 100X sits somebody back, great save there by Jota grabbing the savior as well. If they sit somebody back, I have no doubt that Nullified is going to send somebody, go kamikaze, and absolutely go for the demo goal.
Yeah, you can't trust yourself. With our defenses now, Krill being forced to make that save with low boost, 135. El Calenton definitely not taking their chances at this point. They recognize there's a lot on the line. Reminder, whoever wins the series guarantees a spot in that top 16, in a single elimination final bracket. Either of these teams can do it. It may only be one of them, though, and this match really has a lot to do with that momentum as here comes El Calenton. Stop there as Dr. Alofa. Bump on Jota. Now gets past multiple. This guy running through the ankles. But El Calenton have the balls. Jota demoed. But in comes Krill. One-on-one with Orbit. He's got the dunk. But he won't get the chance on target. And now actually El Calenton will be kept searching for now.
Yeah, too much of a pause there by Jota. If you are 100X and you have that speed, you got to use it. That's very uncharacteristic, honestly, of this team. I was fully expecting Jota to just pop it up, maybe take it up and over, but did not do that. Jota, good touch out there as Dr. Alofa looking to get a pop, playing very patient, and I'm not sure that patience is the name of the game for either of these teams right now. If you're going to run some sort of a demo or a bump goal, that's completely different. You got to set that up. Obviously, that one up and over, but Jota hanging on back. Again, playing very patient. Again, not something I really expected here, Sporty, but seems to be making it work thus far. So the pressure is definitely on by 100x. I'm just curious to see if it'll actually crack the egg that is Nola Flight.
Actually, if I will Calenton, they might have the offense, as you've said, but that doesn't mean they have this game. One chance can change everything here as the Mudbugs look in field again. That one cleared wide. Orbit. That one is open. Oh, but Dr. Alofa shot it wide. That was going to the net, and it may not have had enough speed to go in, but it definitely would have been a great shot on target. Dr. Alofa took that one away from Orbit, and El Calenton, they'll be thanking their lucky stars that Nullified Mudbugs are their worst enemies at this point.
Yeah, we are creeping ever so slowly towards 3 minutes in this overtime stanza, and both of these teams know what this means. You drop this one, oh my goodness, coming off of this one, but no, not able to grab that. Great save there by Orbit. But if you drop this one, my word, how much energy is gonna be spent in not only getting them to this point, but then actually dropping this. And of course, either of the teams that win this, they are looking at one game away from that playoff spot. And Krill gonna send it back up on over. Krill also grabbing the savior on that. 3 saves to their credit already. CK just lying in wait down there at third, but it is gonna go back around. Good jump there by Grande Cueva, sending it to the other side. Orbit maybe waiting for the opportunity. Had a great game one. Maybe be an OT killer here. CK trying to get in position, trying to grab 100, but it is not there. Orbit gonna clip him. Here comes Curl. Come back and around, but 2 members of Nola Flight pops it up, and the pressure is on that speed of 100x, and Jota hanging a little too far back. Oh, excuse me, Krill! Gonna be able to make that one happen. What a substitution. 3 minutes and 47 seconds in at 100x. They are vibing.
And that is why I move him in. That's why I put him on the field. Krill came on, and he made himself known. 2 goals on 5 shots. But for El Calenton, they're 1 game closer to the playoffs.
Have a look at the stat sheet here. My goodness, look at that shot chart. Obviously, Orbit out there doing what I think we expect. Grande Huevos has done a fine job as well, but this is what we expect from El Calenton. You put them in position to play good offense, and by the way, sir, you've got not only a savior, but a savior plus. Overall, El Calenton looking so very good. This is honestly what I expected coming into this one. Obviously, we were expecting offense as well, but this is a well-oiled machine, playing as a good team on both ends of the pitch. Jota playing his role expertly. Right now, dude, I cannot think they don't take this next one and walk away with a dub.
Yeah, you say that as if they didn't just come from a 3-minute overtime against Nola Flight Mudbugs. I don't care what you're thinking about that CplMonkeyshines, but Nola Flight definitely has the ability to take it. Especially with these games being as close as they are, they only need 1 good chance, and they could unravel this El Calenton backline. We saw it in game 1, and again, for El Calenton, once they're feeling good, they play really well. If they aren't feeling so good, this team falls apart very quickly.
It's a solid point, Sporty. And of course, Nola Flight always puts out a team that is more than capable of winning any given game. It's more speaking to just how good 100x looked in that moment. But I will say this, 100x does need to make a statement if they're going to build on it. Nola Flight is a team that can, take what they get bit by bit and build a win on it. So if Nola Flight's able to come out, pop 100x in the nose, get on the board, maybe another one of those demo goals. I am a fan. Orbit now going up. I think if they go out there and they bring a little bit more ferocity, we very well could be talking about a game 5. But by the same token, if 100x able to get on the board, they're not going to make it in 11 or 5 seconds. But if they are able to get on the board, oh my goodness, Orbit up and over. That one's going to sneak in. Says, no, I got you, my guy. We can get on the board first. 30 seconds in, and we can certainly build on this and quite possibly take the dub. Great patience by Orbit. Great shot. And Hota, just a touch out of position, sir.
Yeah, it was one of those plays where you can't believe what you're watching. He didn't even jump for that. He thought that was going high off the net. It was just a perfect shot from Orbit from such a far range. And El Calenton, I think a bit in disbelief here as now Jota looking to answer back. He's got the dribble, but that flick will go wide. And for El Calenton, they've been in these positions before. I mean, we talk about game 1. It was actually them who got off to a good start, but they went to a losing pattern really quickly, and it just kind of steamrolled away from them in that overtime. Now in game 4 with, the chance to go to playoffs here, ready for them. Can they take it? Will the pressure be too much for this 135 side? Grill trying to dissuade his team from that. We know what he did last game. He was a true leader on the field. Can he do it again? CK up for it. The dribble gets past him to net. The dunk. Oh, but he won't get the touch past Orbit. And 135 Calenton still holding offense, but they won't get another chance like it.
And again, 100X coming out. Fast strikes, quick shots. By the same token, on the other end of the pitch, what we expect from Nullified at this point, very hard hitting. As I say that, CK going to show a little bit of hard hitting. But again, Nullified coming out here, very ground and pound to a point. But 100X gonna dance, gonna continue dancing with Brown to the dance, I suppose. Use the partner. Aerial demo there. Good pop over to the other end by Grill. But I have no doubt 100X is going to continue with the fast shots, the quick shots, hoping that one of them will eventually snake on by, and not going to be that one. Grande Cuevas sending it to the opposite end of the pitch.
Yeah, miss open net there from Krill, 135 Calenton. As you say, that's the kind of quick offense you've seen from them all series. It's the offense that has worked for them so well. But it's Nullified Mudbugs who have done well to really get more acclimated to it. You can tell that they're picking up their pace just as 135 Calenton is, and they're not having any issues with this. That's a great chance! Oh, but it goes just wide there. As here comes Dr. Alofa. Krill with the block. Calenton looking to clear this ball away. As Nullified Mudbugs doing just the same thing the other side. This is a quick offense. This is a team that realizes what the other team is doing and is looking to outplay them in their very same play style.
And we see Dr. Alofa trying to set up yet again. We saw game number 1, got the playmaker kind of prepping to allow, I think, Grande Huevos. And I was going to say prepping to allow Horvat and Grande Huevos to do something with it. Our fundamental king, Kota, comes in. Good pop there by CK. Serves it up, says, I got you. And we are not at over 1, 2:20 left to go.
Yeah, with how defensive Jota usually is, it's a surprise to me that he's scoring this often, but that tells you just how offensively minded Calenton wants to play today, that even the guy who's usually the defensive last man, and still is the offensive last man, he's willing to take up and take those chances to step up when his team needs him. That's the kind of team that goes to the playoffs, that goes to that final bracket. But that's a big mistake, and that's gonna go in. Grande Huevos takes the lead right back, as it's Jota, who did so well on one side, but this wasn't so nice looking.
A great shot, patient shot, just letting 100X go on into the corner if they wanted it. They indeed did, and able to follow up on it. Now we find ourselves 2-1 in favor of Nullified. 2:06 left to go in this one, and kind of a slow roller kick going up the wall across mid-orbit. Popping it out there. Krill trying to take it back. 2 members, though, of Nullified. There, Jota, who else going back, and has really been a defensive stalwart for this crew. Meanwhile, CK and Krill been kind of the 2 offensive members, sort of the Orbit and Grande Huevos, if you will, the complement over there. But and of course Jota and Dr. Alofa being great in their positions as well. So Jota, though, taking up Jota, not able to sneak it by Grande Huevos. And here comes CK. Good challenge there by Orbit, wrapping around Dr. Alofa. Sitting back there, grabs the catch, takes it by CK, past Jota. And let's see if they can follow it up. No, might have been looking for a bump there. No, up and over for Krill, sends it on back, does Orbit. Tactical backflip, and Orbit! May not have been 100% intentional. The drop may have just been that kind, but a great pop and say, you know what, let's hope! And hope comes to Nullified. 3-1, $1:15 left to go.
What's been surprising me is how far these goals have been from Nullified. These are not goals where they're getting right in front of that net. No, they're shooting from very far distances. Calenton just isn't respecting this Nullified Mudbugs midfield, and they're starting to realize they better start doing it soon, because the more they push up, the more Nullified Mudbugs are just going to score on them. Another such example, Grande Huevos catching as nobody on Calenton was guarding the nets.
Yeah, when you've got a team like 100X that is so very fast, they're moving up, prepping to score. But in the meantime, if you can catch them a little bit farther up, absolutely take the farther back shot. And it might not necessarily be the biggest banger in the whole wide world, but it can be effective, as we've already seen. Down 4-1 now. It's going to be a heck of a chore for 100X to be able to go ahead and tie us up. Krill trying to set it up across there, but Jota standing back, gets the pop. Has all of 1 in the tank, coming out the backboard, trying to follow up on it, and they are not done just yet. 4-2 now, 45 seconds left to go. It is indeed going to be a trek, but if anybody can do it, if anybody can score that fast, it's going to be 100X.
The 135 El Calenton, their offense is made for moments like this to make quick goals, to get goals, and fast progress. 45 seconds to go. They need two, but it's a great kickoff. Jolton to make it free! He's put it in! And an X35 El Calenton. Hope still lingers for them.
As if on cue. Great work there, and Dr. Alofa just unfortunately not able to get back. And suddenly, sir, we are talking about a one-score game, 41 seconds, more than enough time for El Calenton to score easily one, if not more. But by the same token, Nola Flight has proven themselves more than worthy in this case, using the back half of the pitch to actually send those shots up. But down there by Krill, and gonna send it on the way is Grande Huevos. Might we see another one? No, that one a touch off orbit. Popped out there, sitting thought right in front of the net. Now Dr. Alofa flies on by Grande Huevos, scrambling. It is possibly Krill. We are not, excuse me, Jota. I thought Krill had it. Name it Jota, Mr. Fundamentals. We are not on up at 17 seconds left.
In the right place at the right time, Jota just so happens to be in that play. And he'll be happy he was. The ball just went right to his front bumper, and there was no need to move. El Calenton, 3 goals in the span of 40 or so seconds. What a quick response from them. And now they look to take the lead in front. Guadavos clears. 10 seconds to go. Dr. Alofa can't shoot, but Orbit jumping. That one saved by Krill. And El Calenton nearly caught overcommitting again. CK, the double tap. Dr. Alofa, this one kept up. Grande Huevos wants it out. El Calenton won it to the ground, but this will bounce off from the Mudbugs. Another 50. Dr. Alofa to the back wall. Orbit won't take it. CK to the side wall, but this will go to overtime. Our third of the series. If El Calenton score next, they're going to secure a spot in that top 16.
And there was a moment there in regulation. I think Dr. Alofa, if he would have taken the shot, we wouldn't even be talking about overtime. But here we are. And as you mentioned, all they need, all El Calenton needs is one more goal. And we have seen how quickly they score. They can score in bunches, as we have seen in this game alone. TK, send it back up and over. Might we see Mr. Fundamental make it happen yet again? Or it could be the spectacular sub in Krill. But you've got Jota back there. Trying to pop it out. Sure enough, will going to be challenged though by Orbit. That one may be on. It was not, well, it was, but excuse me, the tremendous save there by CK. Jota now going up, looking for the touch. It is there. Out to Krill, and we're done!
El Calenton, welcome to the playoffs. That goal seals it, a 3-1 series win.
Absolutely tremendous. And again, we came into this one, we were expecting something tremendous. We got it. We saw multiple overtimes. We saw tremendous defense and a great lunch pail effort from the Mudbugs. But ultimately, you like a little flash. You like some. Ultimately, I'll tell you this, Sporty. When you come into a game like this, you have that kind of a lead. You lose it, and then you go into overtime. The onus is in you not to screw it up. And El Calenton vibing said, nah, we got this. They made it count. It was a gorgeous team play to emphatically end this one. Stopping the skid is El Calenton, and going into the playoffs, that is a fun team to watch.
Yeah, again, what a big win that is. As we are getting actually confirmation. El Calenton want a little interview after this as well here at CplMonkeyshines. So I think we'll go into them. Just gonna ask a few questions here to that roster. So let's go in that 125 Discord server. We're gonna get these guys in just a moment, but yeah, what a match that was. As again, we're gonna get him in here to join us here, CplMonkeyshines. As again, what a match! We're just gonna get him back in real quick. Let me make sure we get this. I get these guys in a little interview, but that's our only match tonight. So congrats to 125 El Calenton, a guaranteed spot in that top 16. He's joining us here. Welcome in Jota, welcome in Krill, welcome in CK. We're waiting on CplMonkeyshines, but while that's happening, Jota, I might as well ask you this. You know, you guys played exceptionally well. Is there anything you want to tell me about this series, about kind of how you guys have felt?
Say that again.
Just how you guys feeling, kind of with that win? You know, was a really strong result. You guys are again, I believe, guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. So
we I don't know. We scrambled a little bit in the beginning. None of us had played before the match, so that was kind of like a warm up. So we're kind of all over the place, but then made it work.
You definitely did here. As we're still trying to get CplMonkeyshines in. I don't know. We're gonna get him in any moment. I know he'd like to join in for still a few little moments. I know. There he is. Let me go and move him in. One sec. Let me go get him. And as soon as he's here, well, let's get him in. He's scuffed, but we love scuffed here. There he is. Hello, welcome in, CplMonkeyshines. You're back.
Better late than never. I am indeed back.
Well, he's just asking Jolt how he felt about making the playoffs. They feel pretty good. Is there anything that you'd like to ask, either him, Jamal, Krill, or CK?
Yeah, absolutely. So Krill, we got you subbed in. It looked like a completely different team when you got you got in there, and I guess this is a really question for anybody. Was there a different vibe once Krill came in, and how did that end up affecting the rest of your play throughout the remainder of the series?
In all fairness, we haven't played much with Jamal, so kind of like we're still trying to like figure it out. But Krill, Sombra, and I have been together for this is our second season now, I believe. So we already know what to do. Everybody got their own roles, and we just get back to work type thing.
What was also interesting about the series is just how close it was. So many overtimes, so many. Again, of the 4 games, 3 of them went to overtime. You guys were able to win 2 of them. Can you, again, I know you're in a lot of these CK. You're in every single game. Can you tell me kind of what was like, knowing kind of what was on the line? You guys probably knew again about your playoff hopes, about the fact that this series kind of carried it with you guys. Can you tell me kind of about kind of the pressure that was on you guys during those playoff matches, or maybe the lack thereof? Maybe you guys weren't nervous.
That last game that we just played, I think that was the most nerve-wracking one because at one point we were down 4-1 with like a minute left or something like that, and we just got in the right mindset, got back to work again, and we nailed it.
In other words,
Honestly,
we locked in.
Indeed.
I was gonna say, Jolta's taking all the questions here from his teammates. Are they here? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are
They
allowed
are
to
indeed.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jolta's just taking the questions here from both Krill and CK.
Yeah.
You guys can say hi. You guys can talk. There you
Well, let me
go.
say this: that winning overtime shot, that was a great setup there. And again, like you said, Jota, you came down from 4-1, and keep in mind, coming into this one, y'all were on a 2-game skid. So being able to set that up, how do you guys feel heading into the playoffs off that setting up 4-1? You come back, you win this. How do you feel moving on to the playoffs?
Man, playoffs. Honestly, I think if we play like how we did in the overtime, scoring 3 goals in 40 seconds, the playoffs won't be that hard. Look, with respect to the top teams, but if we're on our game, it ain't much competition. No, fairness.
What's it with these guys and having different players ask questions when when Krill's now taking Jolta's questions? This is payback, Jolta, for you taking his question earlier. You guys keep stealing each other's questions here. I'm gonna ask a question. You know what? To not have any of you steal each other's questions, I'm gonna ask you one at a time. What team are you most nervous about going into the playoffs? Let's start with Jamal. And by the way, if you guys want to see, here's our brackets so far. These are, I'm sure again it's gonna be one of the top teams. But again, there's so many teams in this bracket that have looked so good. Are there any teams you guys are nervous about? We'll start with Jamal. We'll go through all of them actually, and we'll see what you guys all say, and maybe even a little bit of why.
Hello.
Hello, Jamal.
So me personally, I mean, I'm not nervous because this is I'm practically new to all of this, so I don't know any teams, so I don't know their caliber of play. So, but again, I don't underestimate any teams, so we're just gonna put the work in.
Of course, Jamal, not afraid of anyone. He's ready to put his head down and get to work. As now, we'll move on to CK. Is there any team that you're interested in playing against? Is there any team that you want to play against?
Oh no. Got crew, got fuse. I kind of be doing some things sometimes, rarely, but you know what I'm saying? Like we're not afraid of anybody. Not one singular person. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Of course, we doing our best, but there's nobody to be afraid of.
Not afraid of anyone either. I feel like we're going to get a consistent answer here. We'll go to Krill now. Is there any team that you're interested in playing against? Is there any team that you want to play against specifically?
You know, I want to play against ZG Aces. They're 5-0 only because they haven't gone against us. They'd be 5-1, or excuse me, 4-1 had they gone against us. So that's who I want to go against.
You tell him.
Yeah. Play with your chest, big dog.
And we'll now end things off with Jota. Is there any team that you're interested in playing on? Obviously, being a guy who's led this team through the season and having your fair share of wins and losses. Any teams that you would like to play against?
Brody, I think the answer is a resounding no.
Oh.
No team is worthy of our nervousness. Like, the only reason we haven't really won this thing is because we don't take this as serious. We gotta, like, get the work in and get this done with so we can get like higher ranks. Because this is just embarrassing at this point. We gotta win this. That's it. I'm nervous about us not performing well. That's the only thing I would be nervous about. But any other team, nah.
Well, again, I think those are some pretty fun responses so far. Is there any last things you want to ask these guys here, CplMonkeyshines? Any last things that you'd like to ask to any of these players specifically?
Indeed, and I'm going to talk to Jota one more time because he likes to talk. So we are going to have one quick conversation, one final question.
What's
So,
up?
over the course of the game, with what we were watching, Sporty and I were having a little conversation. I have a new name for you, Mr. Fundamental. How do you respond?
I like that. I like that name. Why did I come to win?
Well, so for me, came to mind. We were talking to Sporty just about setting your teammates up. And again, it wasn't necessarily about doing anything flashy. It was just doing what was necessary in that moment. We look at a 4-1 lead that goes up in smoke, winning overtime. You were right there, and again, just that last one set up so beautifully. I felt it was appropriate.
Okay.
Again.
Well,
Go ahead.
no. I like to make plays. Honestly, they know that. That's why. What?
Sorry, my bad.
What?
No, someone's cracking up.
Somebody,
TK.
yeah, something to say. Hold on, bro.
TK's got something to say here.
Oh, we're good.
No, come on. Come on. Why are you laughing, fool?
TK's laughing at you, Jota.
That's what these interviews are for. The people
Oh,
want to know.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
goodness.
Get to learn about the 135 El Calenton team dynamic. Well,
We don't take anything
congrats.
serious, I guess.
Don't worry. Again, with how you guys are playing today, if you guys continue to play like that, you'll be sure to make a pretty good run into that playoff bracket. Again, congrats on your 3-1 win. But before you guys go, we gotta get some shoutouts. We haven't done that yet. We'll make this quick because we've kept you guys on for a long time. We'll go through actually the same way I'll go through when it came to when I asked you guys questions. Let's start with Jamal. We'll go to CK, Krill, and then of course you, Jota. Let's get some shoutouts going. Make it quick, but the time is yours. Do you have anybody you want to thank here, Jamal? Anybody you want to shout out?
Yo, shout out to my teammates. Oh, why do I have
Damn.
Hello. Can you hear me? I mean,
he's in a cave. He's literally in a cave.
We're a disaster.
Yo, yeah, yeah. Well, a disaster, but shout out to 100X, for giving the opportunity to a lot of players here to have the opportunity to play at a competitive level. That's about it, and my teammates.
Of course, we'll now move on out of the cave and now to Krill. Krill, is there anything that you'd like to say, or any shoutouts that you have?
I just want to shout out chat for watching. Shout out Mr. Funky Fresh for typing 100x35. He already know what it's about. 100x35 on top. There's nobody better than us. And yeah, that's it for me.
If you guys ever noticed already, Jamal has a soundboard. He has a soundboard,
Man,
and he is using it. We'll now move on to CK. Is there anything that you'd like to add on to that?
Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to Thrifty, the fucking GOAT, the OG. Always. I mean, Krill, Jota, they be doing their thing, popping on, so
love you too, bro.
what else can you say?
Thanks. Jamal's gonna do this every single time someone says something.
Bro,
He loves that soundboard.
Killing me over here.
Yo, I love this.
Jamal likes the soundboard a little too
This
much.
is the best toy I ever have.
Trust me when I say, Jamal, you're not even close to the first person who has done that on this stream.
Yo, I believe you, but
You're not even close to the first
for
person
me,
who's
this
done
is the first time having a soundboard, so
And he might as well utilize it, I guess. Then we'll end up now
exactly.
with Jota. Jota, is there anything that you'd like to say? Any shoutouts? Any final statements you have to say before we'll let you guys go and have fun for the rest of your night?
okay, let me see.
Ronca, ronca.
Let me get the list.
Goddamn, bro.
Shout out
list
to
prepared just for
Thrifty.
this.
Shout out to Fob. Shout out to Lizzie, Ram, Rouge, Funk for watching. Shout out to Chad for being around. Shout out to my teammates. These dudes, on a really good day, bro, I feel like we could take over the world. Shout out to you guys for actually hosting this. You guys make first stats easy. Second, you guys make it entertaining. So watching this back is kind of like nice with you guys commenting, especially you two.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. And then shout out to whoever we verse on the playoffs. Can't wait.
Again, congratulations on your win, though. You guys are going to be going to the playoffs here. First to survive El Calenton brought the heat. They took down Nola Flight Mudbugs. Congrats again on your win to Jota, Jamal, Krill, and CK. Good luck in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll see you guys there.
Bro, put that shit away.
Bro, get this man out of here. Get this man.
You guys. Dear. That's we're gonna see that. We're gonna see Jamal do that a lot. Again, take care, guys. Have a great night.
You too, bro.
See you, Thrifty. Appreciate it.
Well, CplMonkeyshines, what an interesting tonight. That's an interview that's gonna go down in history. That's for sure. But again, a big win for you. A big win for, I don't know. I said you guys. You're not on that team. A big win to 175 El Calenton. Thank you so much for joining me. Is there any last things you want to say before we'll raid off and end this stream?
Well, fantastic as always. I want to say GG's to both of those teams. That was tremendous. I expected nothing less. Yeah, it's fantastic. We talked about it. We said we're going to settle in for a great series. We settled in for a great series, a great capper to the evening, Sporty.
Again, thank you so much for joining me, CplMonkeyshines. If you guys don't know, go support him. He's got a Twitch channel as well. He casts a lot of 135 esports matches. But that's it from CplMonkeyshines and myself here tonight. Thank you so much for joining the Sportiest stream. Take care. We'll see you guys again very soon.